to Saratoga Springs for the very first time, so let's go have a look around. So I have visited this resort before one other time, pretty briefly, but this is my first time staying here. I've always wanted to because it's very pretty. I really like the bright pastel-y colors of the buildings, and just kind of like the horse racing theme really intrigued me. And honestly, I feel like this is one of the most least talked about resorts. So I've been intrigued about it because I haven't ever really heard too much about it. So yeah, I'm very excited to look around. This is the carriage house, which is the lobby check-in area. And then also there is inside the same building, the quick service, and actually the table service is in there too, called the Turf Club, that I'll show you in a second. The Turf Club Bar and Grill is their table service here and is right in the main building. They actually use the seating area for the quick service overflow during the day. Over here, this is like the lounge area. The Artist's Palette is Saratoga Springs quick service. And they have just like kind of your basic like lunch and dinner food sandwiches and burgers and stuff like that, chicken tenders. But then this is also where you can get any like grab and go items and alcoholic beverages, pre-made sandwiches, pre-made salads. And then this is also where you can pick up your mug, your souvenir mug that is refillable for your entire stay on the resort property. So they have teas, sweet, unsweet, green tea, coffee. This is hot chocolate. So the Artist Palette quick service is actually attached to the merch store here. It's not super large, but there's some cute stuff in here. They have a lot of DVC merch because this is a DVC resort. What's up now? Well, cups too, ornaments, luggage tags. And then also this is where you'd pick up like toiletries or anything, sundries that you'd forgot or ran out of or anything like that. So right out of the Artist Palette quick service is the main, one of the feature pools. I know that there's two feature pools here. This is one of them and it's right by like the main lobby area. There's a slide right there. Pretty cool. I'll get in there tomorrow when there's no people in there to show you like a better view of it. So if you've been to any of like the moderate resorts like Caribbean Beach Resort, Coronado Springs, and Riverside, Saratoga is pretty much set up similar, where there's different groups of rooms and they have like different names, so like Congress Park and the Paddock and all that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, my mom and I kind of struggled yesterday to get around. We looked at a map before we came and like we knew where our room was, but we were trying to find the Paddock pool, which is the other feature pool, and it took us a while. So I would just say if you're planning on staying here, make sure you kind of look at a map and know where you're going. I know my way now because we spent a lot of time yesterday kind of just like walking around, so I feel confident now to be able to find it. But just be aware it can be kind of confusing and there's not a lot of signs up, so just keep that in mind. I would say you'll be fine after like the first day, but it takes a second to kind of get used to where everything is because it is very spread out here and can take kind of a while to find what you're looking for. Okay, so I'm going to, like, when I show you things, I'm going to show you majority of Congress Park because that's where my room is. So there are some signs around that like point to where you're trying to go. So like Disney Springs sign right there. It's a very pretty grounds and I really like the look of it. It's very beautiful. That is my room there. So 3rd floor on the end right there, right by the Mickey. And I really enjoyed the view. My mom and I both enjoyed the view and having the balcony to overlook like the water, and we could only see a little bit of it, but we really enjoyed it. Again, this is Disney Springs right here. This is our building. We had dinner reservations yesterday in T-Rex, which is, no, okay, I can't really see it right now, but like right there. And it took us only, I want to say like 10 to 15 at the very most minutes to walk from our room and get all the way over there. So if you go to Disney Springs frequently, this is a great resort for you, especially if you request the Congress Park. This villa area is Congress Park. So there's several buildings in Congress Park, and if you want to be super close to Disney Springs, this is the furthest building. Just request the closest building to Springs, and you can get inside of Springs in like 5 minutes or less. And then, yeah, like I said, we got to T-Rex, which is farther in 10 to 15 minutes. So it did work really well. Okay, so at this resort, there's actually 2 feature pools. The one that is at the main area by the lobby that I showed yesterday. And then there's one at the Paddock, which is another one of the like villas. But I just wanted to show you one of the like quiet pools that isn't a feature pool. So it doesn't have like a lifeguard, doesn't have games, doesn't have anything like that. But each of the different sections does have one of these pools. So here is the Congress Park quiet pool. It is open. It's like 7:15 right now. No one's in here, so I feel okay to film. But quiet pools open at 7. The feature pools open at 10. So just so you know that. So it looks kind of small, but yesterday we were here and it was a really hot day yesterday, and it was around like, it was like the hottest part of the day, and there wasn't that many people. Like there was plenty of chairs for us to grab. The pool is not overcrowded at all. There was only like probably like 10 people in there. So, and then there's a hot tub also. And I also really like these frog details, the statues. Just add a cute little touch. Okay, and then each set of villas has a separate bus station. So this is Congress Parks. There's actually 2 buses right there. They can take you to the parks, and then there's a separate bus that takes you around the resort because the resort is pretty spread out and big. So the order that the buses stop for the parks and for the water parks and everything, because there's only one bus that takes you from the parks for the whole resort. So the order that the bus stops, like if you want to go to Magic Kingdom, for example, and you go to the bus stop, it goes to the grandstand first, the carousel second, the Paddock third, Congress Park, and then the Springs. So if you always want to kind of ensure that you're going to get a spot on the bus, you could request the grandstand or the carousel because that's where the bus goes first and second. Okay, I'm currently now in the other set of rooms called the Paddock. I wasn't over here yesterday, but it looks like there's a bridge over there from the Paddock to, I'm not sure whatever this one's called, but I'll check that out in a second. But it looks like there's a bridge there, so you can easily access the 2 sections. Okay, so they have maps around, so this is where I am. I just talked about the bridge. I think that's that bridge right there. So I think the set of buildings I was talking about is the Springs. So I was in Congress Park earlier. I walked over to the Paddock, and then if you take that bridge, you get to the springs. So I'm about to go, I'm still heading towards the pool, which is, I'm going to the pool, and then I might cross that bridge and show you the springs, and then finish checking out like what's all in the the carriage house, which is where the check-in and the food services. All right, I made it to the Paddock pool. It is not open. The feature pool is open at 10, but I can still show you from the outside. So here they have like a little splash zone thing with like the bucket and all of that. There's a mini slide here. And then at like the actual main pool, there's a bigger slide there. Here's a better view. So there's actually a little tiny slide and then a little bit bigger slide. And then over by the main pool, you have the bigger slide. But here's the little splash zone, I guess. Okay, it looks like people are in there. So I'm gonna try going in there because there's a soda thing in there for your mug, your refillable mugs. So maybe they open. Oh, the food might be open too. Let me go see. Okay, yeah, so the actual pool area I think is open, but they have signs that say pool closed. But here's what it looks like. And I'm gonna be honest, I came by yesterday to check it out and to refill, my mom and I refill our mugs, and it was really packed in here. Not sure if it's quite big enough. I think it could stand to be a little bit bigger and have like more chairs and stuff around, but it is pretty, and it's zero entry, so there's no stairs over there. But that's Paddock Grill, which I'll show you in a little bit. But then here's the slide, and then you come down over here. There's a hot tub here too. Okay, so also I picked up a cold brew from the Paddock Cafe area because honestly, everyone's been raving about the shaken Jamaican for years, and I've seen it, I've never gotten it, and I was wanting to try it for a while, but I didn't know if it was like worth the hype, so I just tried it, and I really like it. I thought it was gonna be overhyped, but I actually really like it. But anyway, that's not what you care about right now. You care about Saratoga Springs, and here is the pool that I was just at, and then here's that bridge I was telling you about before. So the map I was just standing at is like right over there, and then that's the pool there. Here's the bridge. I'm about to cross it to go to the springs. Not Disney Springs, but like the springs area is another section of rooms like Congress Park and the Paddock. So I would say if you're at one of these buildings in the springs section that's kind of close to the bridge, it's super quick just to walk across the bridge and get food or fill up your mug at the Paddock pool over there. So that's could be something. I know the springs, some of the springs buildings are pretty close to the front anyway. I'm about to walk over there, so we'll see. But I think like, yeah, if you're like this pink building here that's really close to this pond, yeah, it's not super far to walk to get the drinks or food at Paddock. Okay, I just walked like 30 seconds and I just noticed that, yeah, the front, like that tower that has Saratoga Springs. Oh, I'm getting wet, probably from this fountain, or water spout, whatever that is right there. So if you want to be close to the pool, the main pool, and Artist Palette and like the lobby and all that, then you should request the springs probably. It seems very close. And honestly, just keep that in mind. If you get the Paddock, you can just take that bridge to get over to the front. It's a lot quicker instead of going all the way around. And then like I mentioned before, each set of villas has their own bus station. So that's the Springs one. So the set of rooms I was just at, the bus station's like close to the front of the resort. Okay, and then right next to this beautiful tower, you have something really cool. It's called Horsing Around Rentals, and you can rent these like bikes. I'm trying to figure out what they're called. So I guess they're just called the 2-seat or the 4-seat Surreys. So you can rent these and take them around the resort, which is really neat. It's a good family activity. And then you have the community hall here. Okay, and then right next to the community hall you have the laundry services. Alright, I took my ears off because my ears were hurting, but the last thing I have to do, I think, or the last thing I want to do, I should say, for this tour is to time the walk from the front, how long it takes me to get to Disney Springs from here. All right, I'm gonna time lapse the walk. It is 8:18 right now, and I'm headed towards Disney Springs. I am right outside of the main pool, which is right by like the main lobby and building. So time lapse starts now. Okay, I just got to the first Congress Park, like stopping place, the first building, and it's 8:22. So it only took me like 4 minutes to get from the front to Congress Park. But again, I'm at the front Congress Park building, and some of the buildings are spread out. So I'm gonna keep walking so I don't waste too much time. But it's 8:22 now. Congress Park is the one that's closest to Disney Springs. So once I make it through Congress Park, I should be there. Okay, I just got to the furthest building in Congress Park, which it's 8:25 right now. So it only took me 8 minutes or 7 minutes to get from the front to the furthest building. So I don't think that's too bad. It seemed a lot longer yesterday. I think it's because I didn't really know where I was going. Neither did my mom. So when you're trying to like figure out where you're going, it can take a lot longer, but once you know where you're going, it really doesn't take that long. So I was at the front. I made it to the furthest building in Congress Park that's closest to Disney Springs in 7 minutes, and I still have a little bit to go. Here is the like boat dock station that takes you to Saratoga Springs, but it also can take you to Riverside and French Quarter also, and I believe Old Key West. So yeah, so one of the boats takes you to Saratoga and Old Key West, and then the other boat takes you to Port Orleans, both the Port Orleans, French Quarter, and Riverside. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. It's 8:27 right now. Not quite to the front of Springs, but almost there. I just wanna say, the bridge that connects Saratoga to Disney Springs has really good music. It's like they're playing like instrumental, but like disco-y. I don't know, it almost seems like video gamey music to Disney songs. Bangers for sure. Okay, so I made it to Springs and it is 8:29 right now. So it only took 11 minutes to get from the front of Saratoga to the beginning of Disney Springs, which I think is really good. I felt like it was a lot longer yesterday, but I guess not. Okay, so I'm gonna end the video. However, let me walk this way, let me see. I'm gonna end the video, however, I'm gonna kind of give my final thoughts really quick. The main thing is I love the look of this resort. It's really pretty. The colors are just awesome and beautiful, and I love how it looks. I also love how many pools there are, and I like how there's 2 feature pools that have like food and a drink machine and everything that you can use, because not every resort has 2 pools with like food options and a slide. So this one is kind of unique in that I think there's only 3 resorts that have 2 pools that have like slides that are considered like feature pools. So that's really nice. I also really enjoyed the quiet pool yesterday. It was really relaxing and very fun, and there was enough space and chairs and everything. I will say that the smaller of the 2 feature pools, the Paddock pool that I was at earlier today, did not seem big enough for how many people were there. And my mom went last night to get something we had to get change, and she said the line, this was like 9 p.m., the line for the Paddock Grill was huge, and it took her like 15 minutes just to wait in line to get change at the Paddock. I don't really know how they would fix that. I'm just telling you so that you can be prepared that you might have to wait a little bit for the food at Paddock Grill, and get there early if you're spending like a resort day at the pool. If you want to do the Paddock pool, get there early to get a spot, because we went at like 2 p.m. yesterday and we couldn't even find a chair. We had to leave and go to the quiet pool, which I'm glad we did because I like quiet pools better. But just telling you, if you want a spot at the Paddock pool, get there early, reserve a spot, and then you'll have the space. I would say if I was making this like recap yesterday evening, I would say that the resort is really spread out, takes you a long time to get anywhere, kind of confusing. But since I've been here for like a day now and I've been walking it, it's not as confusing as it first appears. It's also, you find your way pretty quickly, and it doesn't take that long to get anywhere. It just like, if you're spending a lot of time walking to like building to building to building, it can be a lot. But if you're just going like from the front to one of the buildings, it doesn't really take that long. So it seems like it could take a long time, but it really doesn't. And there's an internal bus loop, so if you are struggling to walk from place to place, there is a bus loop you can take as well. I think the room itself was really, really pretty. I loved the decor in it, and I love the Murphy bed, and I just really liked everything about the room. The beds are really comfy. There was a lot of lighting. There's a lot of storage. So I really think the rooms are like a huge plus to this resort.